Mercedes had entered the year expecting that a design overhaul would enable them reduce the gap on pacesetter Red Bull. However, drivers George Russell and Lewis Hamilton have suffered a difficult opening 2 races of the season, with an obvious weakness in the vehicle being shown. Team chief Toto Wolff claims that the team does not completely understand what is going wrong in high-speed corners since its real-world performance does not match what the data reveals. "There is something which we don't understand," he said. "We are quick everywhere else pretty much. We know that we have a smaller rear wing, we're compensating what we're losing through the corners. But it's just at high speed where we're losing all the lap time." Wolff added that the problem is more than just a setup issue, as he believes there is something inherent in the car's architecture that isn't working. "I think that's a biggie," he said. "There's only so much you can tune here. Our simulations point us in a direction, and this is the kind of setup range that we then choose, where you put the right rear wing on. I think you'll gain a few tenths or not if you get the setup right or wrong, but there's not a massive corridor of performance. It's more a fundamental thing, that we believe that the speed should be there. We measure the downforce, but we don't find it in lap time. The challenges with the W15 have raised the potential of Mercedes facing a 3rd straight year of chasing problems, following its struggles with the new ground effect cars in the previous 2 seasons. But Wolff is certain that the squad is in a different place right now, and that it will swiftly figure out what went wrong. "It's been 2 years that there is something we need to spot, and that's the thing to unlock," he said. "We have just got to work. It's not through lack of trying. We've pushed so hard, and we're going to give it a massive, massive go now in the next week, with more data to understand. We are going to come back to Melbourne strong. We are on a mission on this one, and I am 100% sure that we are going to unlock that performance gap." The first 2 rounds of the season in Bahrain and Saudi Arabia demonstrated that Mercedes still has a long way to go if they want to compete with Red Bull, who has begun with a set of 1-2 results. Bahrain was not the best indicator of Mercedes' race performance, since Russell and Lewis Hamilton experienced engine overheating difficulties, but the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix was also a difficulty, with Russell finishing P6 and 40 seconds behind race winner Max Verstappen, and Hamilton ending just P9. "We're still really trying to understand this car," Russell told media after the Saudi Arabian GP. "Because we have shown true performance at points over the last 2 weekends, FP1, straight out of the box we were at the top of the timesheets and always in the top 3, FP2, P2, and then both weekends the pace has just fallen away from us. Naturally, this would raise the issue of if truly, Mercedes' opponents are merely getting quicker when they turn the power units up, and Mercedes cannot match this step." Russell, though, rather frighteningly, said Mercedes are shedding performance, as opposed to competitors finding it, as a race weekend unfolds. "That hasn't been our competitors getting faster, that has been us getting slower," he continued. "So, we need to understand why that is. But it's fine margins now. Charles Leclerc is just a smidge ahead. We just need to tap into a bit more." Bouncing has been an unwelcome aspect of the Mercedes challenges since the new rules went into effect in 2022, with Hamilton lamenting the issue in Saudi Arabia and pushing Mercedes to get on top of it 3 years later. Russell believes that is not the only explanation for Mercedes' performance and race weekend progression issues. When asked if there is more going on with the W15 than just the bouncing costing performance, Russell responded, "Yeah, probably. I believe there's more to it. It's so complex these days. These cars are so complicated. The tires are very difficult as well. Right now, I don't have the answers." Mercedes hopes to locate some before the season's 3rd round in Melbourne, where Albert Park will host the Australian Grand Prix.